Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike from Door and Lock Tips, and I'm going to be showing the last lock out of the bunch that I bought from Amazon and Go Keyless. So this is about electronic cabinet locks. I purchased these so you guys didn't have to, and I've ripped them all open. I've shown you the inside, and so the last lock in this bunch is called a Digilock. So it's a digital lock, electronic lock, and I've saved it for last because it's the toughest one of the whole bunch. I mean, seriously, guys, I've been a little leery about installing this because I've taken these off cabinets and just, thrown them in the trash because of the fact these all corrode. And by the time the maintenance guys get to them, they're wrecked. And that's not cool. Now, this is one of the most expensive out of the bunch. I wrote down the prices here, so you know. I got it from a company called Go Keyless. So I checked Amazon this morning. They don't even carry it anymore. So Amazon had it for over $300, which was basically insane. Okay, this lock is not worth $300. So if you do discover it on Amazon, don't push the buy now button. So I went to Go Keyless. I got it there for a kind of a reasonable price. Let's see here. It right there, $115.20. So the lock can be bought. It takes about 9 days from Go Keyless, and they have other places you can buy it. But Go Keyless, you don't have to be licensed, and that's a pleasure, right? And I didn't have any problem buying it from their website. It was pretty painless. You kind of have to know what you're doing to purchase it. Now, this particular one, I wanted in locker mode. So it only comes, you have to buy a separate lock if you want it in station mode. So station mode is where it's a fixed number all day long. And locker mode is, whoever puts in their 4-digit number and they lock it and then they unlock it. The next person that uses that locker can put in their 4-digit number. So this works on that thought, this model that I bought. Now, I will say, if you're not a locksmith, this is pretty easy to wreck. There's pins on the back of the motor, which is just a dead latch type. It's not self-latching because it's locker mode. So the pins back here, you have 6 pins. Now, if you set this down while you're installing or playing around, and you just set it down on the table, I mean, I scratched my table all up with it. These little pins will bend, and you're going to have to get a pair of needle nose and bend them straight back. So you have those are little brass pins. I don't know who's thinking of this stuff, but I saw Sergeant locks do it the same way. They're electronic, and they're over $800. Well, they're probably about $12 now. And they have these same pin idea crazy. So you got to be so careful. So we won't set that down on its face because those pins, if they get in this cardboard and I just bend it like that, it's wrecked. And so looky here. Looky here. You have the pins continue on. You don't have a cable. You have this pin idea. I don't know who these designers, these guys that are sitting around, maybe the bean counter said, we don't want any plastic. We just want to open wires through the cabinet opening. If this was a steel opening, which really, this isn't built for a steel opening, I guess you'd have to order a different kind of lock. But if it was steel, this would touch so quickly. So there's a lot of little goof ups in this lock. Here's another one. You got to buy a fob. Well, I wouldn't even call this a fob. This is it goes in the front. It doesn't even, no, it does not just lock on there. So you got to push it on, and this is the master code to get you in. So there's another $42. Has batteries on the back here of the motor compartment, so these are inside the drawer. So they're double A's. There's 4 of these. Yeah, 4 of these. These will corrode. That's a lot of the reason I've taken these off, because they corrode. The maintenance guys don't take them out, and they corrode, and then they don't work. And they don't know where this thing's at. And each one of these are specific for this lock grouping. So once you put this on this lock, I mean, it's pretty permanent. So they don't know where that's at. So basically you're kind of up a creek. So let's see the price on this thing. So total price, tax and shipping, was $188.42. So it's the most money out of the whole bunch. So how they stack up so far: Tritech wins, lightest little lock in town, and then you have the fingerprint reader. Love that. Then the regulator, which is old style heavy lock. Oh, by the way, this thing blows them all away. I mean, just the batteries alone. So this is very heavy setup. And then where are you going to carry this? You got to stow this away somewhere. So, but you got plenty of room to write down where it goes with a magic marker on it. Oh, and there's batteries in this too, by the way. So let's see what's in this. You have a 9-volt battery that will corrode and go bad. This is all fundamentally an old idea, guys. This thing's been out forever. I'm going to put it on so you guys don't have to. It's relatively easy. There's 2 screws to put it on, and they go through into the front of the lock. But look at here. It only comes in one kind of configuration, which is vertical. So it's a vertical configuration, not horizontal. So the numbers are all, 1, 2, 3, 4 down the line. And that's not cool. If you have a drawer, I mean, I like them setting sideways on a drawer. Now, cabinet door, this would work okay. But, usually you can buy these in different flavors. But not Digi. And boy, you better be careful with this lock. So these other 2 locks, that I got from Amazon, the Combi-Cam and the kit lock, are just totally down on the scale of, off the scale of you won't buy them. Just don't buy them. So I'm going to put on the Digilock, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on my cabinet. I wish I didn't have to, but I have to, right? And then I'm going to show you how that installs. And then I'm going to rip the guts out of this bad boy and show you what's inside, the keypad, and hopefully the motor compartment. It looks like I have to wreck their little rubber. I don't know why they put rubber on the back here, because it's not waterproof. But I guess they didn't want them pins to get wet if you dumped a cup of coffee over it or something. But I'm going to have to probably take those apart. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel, well, maybe not. I see some holes there behind it, though. Oh, yeah, there's the screw holes. Oh, I hate to rip that off. I don't have another gasket. Oh, and guess what? No manual. There was no manual in the box. Look at how big this box is. There's no manual in there. No latch strike, no manual. Everything's extra, extra, extra. So stay tuned. I'm going to have fun putting it on. I'll get to show you the insides and then tell you what I think of this lock and the rest of all these locks in this episode. All right, this Digilock's going to take a custom installation because I don't want to put it on the side of the cabinet. I mean, it'd be so close to the door and the latch strike and the latch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue a piece of wood underneath here and have the latch strike on this side. Have the wood block, and what I did is I put Gorilla Glue on the inside, which is a longer setting glue, which will hold better than the. This is instant Gorilla Glue, super glue, and I put that on the outside edge. So I mixed the 2 glues, and what I'm going to do, and you tell me in the comments if you like what I'm doing here. In order to get the lock centered in the middle of the drawer like the other locks, because that's what I want to do on this little desk. I'm going to glue underneath this little wooden block and attach my latch strike right here, because this bolt is on the side. This is the only way you can buy these things. Oh boy. And the cool thing is I've got plenty of clearance between the top of my drawer, so this block isn't going to cause any problem. I purchased this little wooden block at Lowe's and will work perfect for side-mounted latch strike. I'll be glad you didn't have to lay this thing out. No template, and there's the layout. Guys, I have to drill a 1/2-inch hole through the cabinet because of this crazy pin idea. Let's try to get the pins on here. Look at this. Look at this thing. You're not going to believe this. So that little cable, well, it's not a cable, those barbs that stick on through, they don't allow me to, they're too long, and I can't push this lock flush. Call tech support before you ever order this lock and get the part numbers from Digi themselves, and possibly then you'll get the right parts. This little extension part that goes from the lock to the motor was too long, and I had to get a different one from tech support. Stay tuned till the end. You'll see I had to order another lock. It took 12 days to get it. So stay till the end to see this thing. And I just tried to reinstall it again. So the backside sticks out on an angle. So it's basically tipped like this because you only have 2 fastening holes. This is so subpar. Well, I have an update. So this is like 12 days later, guys. 12 days. Digi sent me a new lock. I had to get a hold of this place called Go Keyless because the original lock, when I was shooting this video, failed. It would not come out of whatever. It just froze up. Wouldn't work. So, you know, I called up Go Keyless and they said, point blank, call Digilock. They had no tech support help whatsoever. I'm really kind of sad about that whole thing. I never heard of so little of tech support in my life. So they sell their locks, but you know, as far as tech support goes, because I called tech support at Go Keyless, and you know, nothing. I really was pretty upset, but you know, that's a while back. So we're not going to worry about that anymore. Digi was pretty good. They called me up, or I mean, I called them up, and they said, okay, what's the numbers on the box and all that stuff. So they sent me out the right lock, by the way. You know, you have to specify on the back of these locks. I don't know if you can see that, but on the back of the lock, there's a little wiring harness of sorts. It really isn't a wiring harness. It's just some wires that plug in there, so you got some copper barbs that stick in there, and they got to be the right length for your cabinet door or drawer. The thickness. That was never on Go Keyless's you know, questionnaire of when you're buying this lock. So sad, really sad. I probably won't buy anything more from Go Keyless. I'll go to my regular suppliers like UHS Hardware, CLK Supply, Annixter, great place. But, you know, Go Keyless, they just left me out high and dry. All right, just to show you how this works, this is their idea of a wire harness. I had to call tech support again. This new lock came in with the batteries dead. All right, let's look into this bad boy. You know, I love taking these things apart. This is what I'm going to send back to him. So I surely am not going to take that off that drawer again. So you just take out these 4 screws. They're all located right on the sides. Let's just see what this thing's made of. Ta-da! A lot of electronics. okay. This is, yeah, this is what I expected. Ooh, let's get a little deeper. This will be fun. I'm sure I'm going to get myself in a heap of trouble. I kind of doubt it. All right. Hey, is this completely free? Look at this. This is cool. All right, so this is kind of like the Sergeant push button. They're all similar. They all have this little push button system. Ooh, oh, man. Now this is totally waterproof. So there's no way no moisture's getting in there. And then they have their little housing. So this is the 4G. That is one heavy housing. I mean, seriously heavy. Oop. All right. So now we know what it looks like. And that looks like a little buzzer right there. So be ready to have some batteries with you. AA batteries. Now, that's not badly built. That's kind of cool. Kind of like it. So it just slips in their little face like so. Well, I'll get her back together and I'll tell you what I think of this thing. I think you got the picture. Digilock fails miserably. I mean, it's solid as a rock. I mean, you could probably chop a tree down with this thing. Looks waterproof. The back of it, you know, is sealed pretty great. 4 screws. This motor is probably indestructible. I don't know. I haven't played with it long enough. I know we take these off at the hospital immediately. These things, no one can figure it out. Here's what you got to do to operate this lock. First of all, I had to call tech support because there's no manual. So you have to push the C. Who's going to do this? Then whatever the programming number is, and then the unlock. I don't know any older person who's going to walk up to some locker and go, you know, okay, what do I do here, ma'am? And then you know, they ask the staff, ma'am, what do I do? And, oh, you have to push the C, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, whatever number you're going to put in, 4 digits, and then the unlock. And then when you come back, you got to push the C, and who's going to remember that? Why isn't it just, you know, as simple as the Tritech lock or, you know, all the other locks, basically pretty simple. I hate it when you got to push a programming number. But so hands down, this lock is probably, you know, super rock hard. Had to call the tech support countless twice in a row and called Go Keyless, you know, one time, two times. I bought basically the wrong, and now I'm a locksmith, okay? I bought a lock off of Go Keyless, and the depth of this barb thing was wrong. You have to jimmy it. The batteries were dead from the factory, so get ready to replace the batteries because they don't have a seal in there to keep them separated. The lock is the most expensive of the bunch. So right now, it's $115, and then you have to have, oh my goodness, you got to have the yellow fob, which I left over on the table, but which is a programming fob. So there you go. Go Keyless has it for $115 and $42. So my idea is, you know, go ahead and buy it if you want. I would never buy this lock. I bought it so you didn't have to. The best out of the bunch are the Tritech little Micro IQ. Does everything this monster does, and with ease, all metal construction. And then this little fingerprint reader. Unbelievable. The rest are all below that, you know, the Combi-Cam and the kit lock, and then the regulator is way outdated. So you guys, I would stick with the Tritech lock, the Micro IQ. I mean, I bought another one, and I put this one over here, so you'll be able to see it all the time. I love it. I bought $600 of locks, and all of them are pushed aside, except maybe the little thumbprint reader, fingerprint reader. Kind of like that lock for $39. Although guess what? They just raised their price $3 on Amazon. I couldn't believe it. In 12 days, they raised their price. So anyway, things keep going up. So there you have it. Please subscribe to my channel, and you'll have more door and lock tips. Oh, I like that click. This is the winner on top. You'll have more door and lock tips coming your way. Please tell your friends, ring that bell. Thank you guys for staying to the end.